Thanks, Goose. Army of Two, the Devil's Cartel is pretty much what you expect. Two dudes shooting up other dudes, but this time with the Frostbite 2 engine under the hood, they also shoot up everything else.
The Devil's Cartel is a cooperative shooter, and you're part of the organization known as Two.
All clear from here.
The game begins protecting a politician in a convoy down the dusty streets of Mexico.
The less action we see today, the better.
Naturally, it all goes wrong, and throughout the rest of the game, you'll be fighting an evil cartel through a series of pretty solid set pieces. Before that, though, you're thrust back in time 5 years to go through one of those familiar and unskippable training missions.
This one's easy enough. Just shoot targets.
I hate those. I know how to fire digital guns. I have played games before.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess it does refresh a pretty solid aggro and cover mechanic, which is particularly useful when there's turrets involved.
And I do like that aggro mechanic. I never got tired of it. It's simple, but it works with the theme of Army of Two, which is teamwork. By keeping the enemy's attention, the other player, or AI partner if you play alone, will push forwards until someone is close enough to take the turret down.
Grenade out! Mountain machine gun down!
It's not all about turrets though. The gameplay in this Army 2 is actually quite diverse.
There is a lot of stop and pop, but you'll also be displaced a fair bit by grenades and have the odd melee charger who thinks it's a great idea to run headfirst into two heavily armoured and armed mercenaries with a machete.
There's also quite a few sections where you get split up from your teammate, and while these can be a bit frustrating if your teammate isn't very good and you have to keep doing it over and over again, it certainly mixes up the action and it adds a lot of threat to death too. I expected to feel like I played this game a million times before, but it didn't really feel like that to me. You know, it rocks along.
Does it though? I mean, so many of those clear the area sections really overstayed their welcome, I thought. And often the last goon you have to take down is hiding somewhere, so you spend ages walking around trying to get them to shoot you and give away their positions so that you can find them and then take them out and move on.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's a pet peeve of mine. As for those sections where you've got the waves of goons just coming and coming, I was kind of all right with that because this isn't a Call of Duty or Modern Warfare game. This is more like a buddy shooter where those kind of sections are common and it's a challenge and then you just move past it.
Just don't compare it to games that are actually good and you'll have a good time.
Exactly. If you think of the enemies as more like an army of clones and they just keep on coming, you know, they come in waves and they're not very bright, it helps you get through the game, but it also helps you realize, you know, all this slaughtering, it helps you digest it a bit easier.
I feel like you're placing a lot of conditions on this playing experience.
Yeah, you have to roleplay a little bit.
You need to say, don't think, don't want, just be.
Just enjoy it.
You also have to ignore all the dialogue. I mean, these are soldiers with a peculiar set of morals. They want to fight evil and protect the most random of civilians they find in the field.
We're in the middle of a goddamn cartel compound.
She is innocent. It's all right. We're here to save you.
And it is good that the devs have tried to make them heroic, but any attempt to show some humanity is completely destroyed by all the joking and the laughing right after these brutal murders.
Nice. You've done well, kids.
And the constant stream of bad jokes doesn't help either.
Oh yeah, time to die.
Yeah, they didn't quite get the tone right, and some of the performances are quite good though, and the motion cap is fine.
The last time we saw you
Last
were...
time you saw me was 5 years ago.
What are you now?
There are some technical flaws though. Most of the in-game cutscenes lag and shudder, demanding more power than they're given, and it feels like every second breach or door opening takes a long time to load, and you and your partner do the whole wobble at the door thing trying to figure out if it's bugged out or not. There are some exciting action sequences though.
Yeah, the destruction really adds a lot. Your cover is often blown away. And when you fill up your kill meter, you can unleash hell with infinite ammo and invincibility. It's not an I win button, enemies are still very much a threat when it's over, but it gives you a break.
We have to find a way past this wall. Maybe you could go over there and show them some leg.
Yeah, those mayhem sections are so visually exciting too. I do feel like the game could look a lot better though if it was just have a little bit more grunt, you know, maybe a PC version with some DirectX 11 lighting, because I really like these locations and most of the effects.
That fuzz when you're low on health is a bit average though, just a poor design choice I think. And also the HUD's often cluttered up with markers quite a bit. I do think they got the enemy armor progression right though, Barjo. As you get further in, they get tougher, but it doesn't feel ridiculous like our favorite example of that, Uncharted. Enemy AI isn't revolutionary, but they provide a solid challenge, especially when they're only injured on the ground.
This is gonna be awesome.
At times, the gore can be a little bit indulgent though, such as in this section where enemies just walk into the path of your vehicle.
I also noticed that the enemies which were unfortunate enough to get a gut shot would actually reveal their pulsating and throbbing organs underneath. Authentic or overkill?
I'm not sure. This isn't a game that I would choose to play recreationally, to be honest. I mean, it just does so much that needs to change in shooters, and coming off the back of BioShock Infinite, it was pretty hard to get excited about this.
Yeah, it's kind of like having a wonderful roast dinner with BioShock and then having a 3 AM kebab with Army of Two. Both are still quite tasty, but one of them is pretty bad for you. At first text, I was completely on the same page with you. You know, shooters are changing and we want more out of them, and this has all of those conflicting moral slaughterhouse kind of things that we're so used to seeing.
But we got this girl out. We did some good today.
Yeah?
But then the mechanics of the game started to present themselves more clearly, and I started to really enjoy the combat and the teamwork of the game.
Make a break for the ledge on the right.
Plus, there are so many mods and tweaks you can do to your weapons, so it was fun working on all of those and finding one that works with you. And they all feel good and sound authentic too. I think this game has been getting a bit of a bad rap. It's a pretty good game, and I like the way that when you first meet anyone online, you always do the standard bob up and down greeting, often for ages.
Let them take our targets.
That was the plan. Make a little noise.
I mean, I think that's fair, but there was nothing in this that I could really connect with, and I can't help it if I want and expect more from a shooter now, so I'm giving it 5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it 7.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.